How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. Today is May 31st, 2019. And of course, this video we will be talking about HoloChain. But of course, first, we've actually just created a Patreon because a lot of people have been requesting that we make a Patreon account so that you could show support for the channel. So the link will actually be in the description. If you're interested in supporting us, you could come in and support us at $5 a month or $10 per month, $20, $50, or even $100, and we'll be working on different rewards and stuff. And of course, we'll be in communication with everybody who's a supporter of the channel and wants to basically have a role to play in the future of the content that we create on here. So definitely very exciting. We'll see how many people want to come on board with that. But without any further ado, I think that it's definitely interesting to look at some of these different news items. So basically, if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you're probably already aware that we try to stay ahead of the curve. Basically, the strategy that we try to employ over here is the easy to go strategy, essentially, where everybody else is waiting for blockchain adoption, and essentially trying to be more using that foresight essentially to try and see beyond where people are going to be thinking in terms of how cryptocurrency adoption takes place. And I think we could pride ourselves on basically having that foresight and the ability to see the trends that are developing essentially with the evolution of the internet, and where we could see sort of things like peer-to-peer. And this is where HoloChain really comes in, and I think that it has a huge role to play. So this is going to be a pretty awesome video. I think we'll be able to discuss from a really interesting perspective the future of moving beyond blockchain and essentially seeing how the internet's going to be functioning in the world as this paradigm shift continues to happen. And essentially how businesses using HoloChain will probably have a huge leg up on the competition, simply because HoloChain's using these state-of-the-art things, which are essentially going to be playing a huge role in how things function from here on out. Of course, top performers of the day, we've got Mona Coin, Aurora, Bytecoin, Hypercash, Maximum Coin, ABBC Coin, Dent, and of course we need to talk about how this sort of resurgence in the popularity of Bitcoin, and then followed by a slight correction, has sort of had an influence on the way that the public perception of blockchain has been able to develop from this point forward. And this is really an interesting conversation to have in the context of Holo, because now HoloChain, I'd say, just to start off, if you're unfamiliar with HoloChain, and I'm sure a lot of people who are on this channel are really well versed in their crypto expertise. I know a lot of you have taught me plenty of stuff, and vice versa. It's always awesome to be able to build this community, and learn as much stuff as physically possible. But realistically, HoloChain, peer-to-peer, versatile solutions, agent-centric. I see it as a futuristic look into how the internet is actually going to be functioning in the near future. Now, each of us wants to have control over how and with whom we interact in order to evolve and thrive our communities, most support everyone's uniqueness. And of course, just reading the white paper, you can get a really good idea of how HoloChain is going to be competing now in the cryptocurrency space. And now it is very interesting just to look at a lot of these different variables and how they've been coming together. And this is sort of a pretty interesting break that we've had from the seeing the prices on all these different things just going straight to the moon, which of course part of this analysis is basically looking into how we're going to be seeing different variables in society meshing with these technologies as different corporations and so forth continue to find different uses for these things. The crypto market is a market filled with emerging assets that utilize a new unproven technology that is many years off from having a valid use case that is applied to daily life. Because of this, we've got to look at. I think really what it comes down to is HoloChain and actually being used by a lot of these different corporations. Very exciting stuff to see happening. I mean, and of course we've got some of these different news items. Trump stuns with tax on Mexico, stocks fall, MEX down, Bitcoin to the rescue. This is an interesting article just because it could send people running for cryptocurrency, which is pretty interesting. Donald Trump, the president of America, has surprised all by announcing taxes on Mexican goods up to 25% starting in June and raising 5% a month. He said, "I am invoking the authorities granted to me by the International Emergency Economic Powers Act accordingly. Starting on June 10th, 2019, the United States will impose a 5% tariff on all goods imported from Mexico." So this is definitely interesting. It's just going to be interesting to see how this is going to mesh with the future of cryptocurrency. I think it is probably one of the greatest advertisements for Bitcoin, just the same way that the situation with China and so forth has been sort of interesting advertisement. Market continues to decline as Bitcoin closes in on 8,400. I mean, this is old. Right now, Bitcoin's of course at around the 8,300 mark, more or less. But I mean, it is interesting to see. And of course, after EOS, Tether might launch on Liquid Network in the future. Of course, the CTO of Bitfinex recently confirmed the launch of Tether on chains other than Omni blockchain, Tron, and Ethereum. The announcement happened via a tweet. I mean, all these different things happening definitely does give us an interesting view into the role we could be seeing the crypto playing. Just in terms of blockchain has already sort of worked its way into so many different aspects of society. I mean, we already see so many people going to college, seeking jobs in blockchain, and blockchain is one of the most sought after occupations, with good reason. But I think that it is, time for us who are forward thinking to look to things, similar to HoloChain, just for the simple purpose that the evolution is going to become more and more rapid as things continue to move forward. And I think something along the lines of HoloChain would be an interesting crypto to pay attention to. And this is a pretty cool tweet right here. "Before crypto, I cared about politics. Now I watch from afar, as one watches a movie. We know how it will end, and while there is humor sprinkled throughout, it will not be a comedy. My ambivalence towards it is sprinkled with a sad acknowledgement of those still trapped inside." And I think that sort of does really it speaks to my soul when it comes to my perspective on cryptocurrency. I look at the news with a grain of salt, trying to get an idea of how it's going to affect the cryptocurrency world. And we've been making great strides in the past couple of weeks with cryptocurrency, and I'm happy that our community has basically been it's pretty much been evolving at a pretty rapid rate, and I'm thankful that we've had such a great community on this channel who've essentially been able to supply us with the information and all these different things that have been really essential to my development in the cryptocurrency space. And now this is why we're going to be branching out, having more interactions on the Discord and bringing more of the audience onto the channel to have these conversations about how these things are going to be headed, just so that we can pretty much give more voice to the community, which I think will be pretty awesome. We'll all have an opportunity to learn. Our plan is to invest our money into blockchain technology. Our business plan is to sell a shitload of tokens. Bitcoin is once more slowly building this afternoon. Looks like it's going to attempt to sneak up to 9K again over the weekend. Don't let 9K hear you. It will be an interesting weekend from here on out. I'm definitely excited. It's going to be an interesting crypto summer, to say the least. And that's why another reason why I'm excited to be, using the Discord and making use of all these different resources, so we can continue to learn. I learned so much stuff from you guys, and hopefully you learn vice versa. But yeah, all that being said, of course, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. I'm not financial advisor. I'm not your dad. Now, of course, this video is for entertainment, education, like I said. But yeah, all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're interested connecting with us, that's at CryptoTuber, or you could support us on Patreon. And all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.